Another one? What's with these guys?
Hello everyone and welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy Ivorian Spice and we're back at it again with the catch-up volume 75. Yes, we're back with another week. It's been a while since we've had this show, yes, but we've thought let's do it because of course as Manchester United have won a game. If we'd done it last week, we would have all been sad. But for those who are new to the channel, remember this is a channel, a podcast where we talk everything Manchester United related. And of course, we're here to discuss the match and furthermore, Marcus Rashford, his future, the unfiltered part of the debate, my favorite part of the show. And of course, if those who want to contribute to the channel, you can always contribute live on a super chat, send us a super chat or link description via PayPal. But let's get straight into it. Let me introduce the panels as they are there. The guests are there. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Jegs. Big up, Jegs. It's been a while since we've been here.
It's been a long while, bro. It's been a long while, but it's good to be back. How you doing? You good?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. It's been an interesting couple of weeks for United in terms of results, but we're here to discuss the positive result that we had the other day. And let me introduce you to, of course, Jerome. Jerome, how you been? It's been a long time since we've seen you, man. How you?
Man. It's been a minute still, man, but it's good to be back on the show, as you said. It's good to open back with United on the up. Again, it's been a roller coaster few weeks, but just so we can get some consistency and keep the good mood going, keep the momentum going and up.
Absolutely. And let me introduce you to pretty flogger Amuk. Big up to you, brother, for joining us, man. How you been? How was your weekend and everything?
I think I had a good weekend this time around, better than the other week. But yeah, United actually did put some smile on my face for once. Maybe just because it's Ronaldo that did this thing. But yeah, I've been good, smiles. And like Jerome said, let's hope for the best in it. Let's see how this gets, because we've been going through a lot.
Now we definitely have been going through a lot. But first of all, let's get straight into the show as we're here to discuss the match, the first 20 minutes, and then we move on to the second part. It is, of course, Manchester United 3, Tottenham HOTSPURS 2. Manchester United collecting 3 points after a disappointing previous week and losing against their rivals, but getting these 3 points after a sensational performance and a hat-trick by the GOAT himself, the man of football. You get me? That's the language he understands. That's what Ronaldo understands, only GOAT language. But yes, scoring that hat-trick, brilliant in terms of the result. Performance-wise, we're going to discuss both first half and second half because, yes, Manchester United, again, didn't perform to their absolute best, but got the results. I'm going to go straight to you, Amuk. What was your thoughts on the game?
For some reason, I was a bit optimistic, maybe because it's Tottenham, and we always find it hard against Tottenham because they go way that they play us, they always get 3 points. But this time around, I felt like, do you know what? We lost against City, and that was really disgraceful. So literally, I was really optimistic. But the first one was quite good because at least we had the first goal, even though both of the goals that we conceded was like just silly mistakes. But it was good just to see our team having that little momentum, saying like we went behind for the first, we went ahead and they equalized, we went ahead again and they equalized. Just a back and forth was good. Like I was really optimistic about the match. And some players did impress me that day. Ronaldo, obviously. And I think like I always been saying, like I know I haven't been on the show for like a few weeks, and that Sancho needs to be playing more games.
Which he has been. James,
Now,
what about you?
I know, but we need to see more.
What about you, James? What was your thoughts on the game?
Jakes, I think you're mute.
You're on mute, James.
The game as a whole, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like without Ronaldo, that's a game that Tottenham probably would have drawn. Maybe they might have even nicked a win. So I don't think the team performance was great, to be honest with you. It was just great that we had Ronaldo in there. In the first half, I wasn't too happy with the way Tottenham were at Old Trafford and were controlling large parts of that game. That can't be happening at Old Trafford. It seems to be happening too many times this season. So I wasn't really happy with that. But you can't be disgruntled with 3 points, man. Big up Ronaldo, because I honestly believe without Ronaldo playing that game, there's no way in hell we would have won that game. So to all the Ronaldo haters out there, he just got us 3 points, man. So he needs a round of applause for this week, definitely.
Indeed, he does, man. And we'll move it up to you, Jerome. Me unmute you first of all. What was your thoughts on the game overall?
Yeah, it was a good game of football, especially for the neutral. But as a United fan, it was just up and down. It was a bit like, we're gonna win this. We flopped it. We keep conceding the lead, and like Jake said, we didn't have control of the game, and I think that's something that we've got to work on long term because we just don't have the personnel to control games. And I was a bit worried during the game because Tottenham came to Old Trafford in good form, having thrashed Everton. So it was just one of those games where I was just hoping rather than expecting us to get the win. And luckily we did. Obviously, we've got the GOAT, as everyone keeps saying now. After his barren spell, Ronaldo's back with a hat-trick, came back in style after missing the Manchester derby last week. So, yeah, it was important that Ronaldo stepped up for us because without him, it was hard to see where the goals were going to come from, really. Because Rashford's short of confidence and we don't seem that we have that much striking options. So, you just have to hope that Ronaldo keeps this up. But overall, it was a good performance. Obviously, we're not controlling games; we don't have the personnel for that. But there was a few individuals that shone in that game, and hopefully, this is a confidence boost now. Because as I was saying, Spurs came to the Old Trafford in good form, and we just needed to get the win. I think right now, it's just all about getting the wins and just seeing what happens in the race for the top 4, really.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Wait, let's go straight into the game because the first couple of minutes and the first half, the first goal came from, of course, himself, the goal himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, out of nowhere. What
a strike!
What a strike! I enjoyed that so much because there's one touch that bang at that moment there. Manchester United will put themselves in a nice position to then lose that to a penalty. Amok, that goal by Ronaldo, what do you have to say about that?
Sensational. Like he said, out of nothing. And that strike, like you just can't explain it. Like he knows what he did and he knows the intention and he clearly showed us what he can do. The goal was beautiful. That's the type of goals that makes you get off your feet and be like, what? Is that goal? Like, you know, the reaction, you don't celebrate at once, but you make sure like it actually went in. Like you jumped off. Like it was beautiful. I won't lie, as a United fan, it's beautiful to see Ronaldo coming back and do what he did and just scoring them type of goals. That's beautiful to watch as a United fan.
And what about you, Jerome? What's your thoughts on that goal from Ronaldo?
Yeah, that goal was magical. Ronaldo, he rolled back the years. I can't lie. When I saw that, it just felt like he was back at his first spell at United. The way the ball just swerved into the corner of the net, it was just like Ronaldo was 10 years younger now. So, and it was out of the blue. I did not expect that at all because right now it's just like we're accustomed to seeing Ronaldo score tap-ins. So it's good that he got a goal outside of the box, and that should be a big confidence booster. That certainly got the crowd going, and obviously Ronaldo with trademark celebrations. It just created a good mood. That way he just came in, and the way the fans just just got going, because obviously we weren't coming into that game in good form. So for Ronaldo to give us that bit of magic, yeah, it was pleasing to see.
Definitely, it was really pleased to see. And then what happened again? I explained to you. Telles handballed the ball. Manchester United equalized. I mean, Tottenham equalized with a penalty, 1-1. Fair enough, it was a penalty. The second goal, again, brilliant play by Fred to win the ball back to pass it to Rashford, to Ronaldo to pass it on to Sancho. Fred has been amazing, but we'll talk about Fred later on. Then Jadon Sancho squaring it to Ronaldo. I know if it was another player, they're not squaring it. They are not squaring it to Ronaldo. They're not thinking about the assist, the easy goal. Brilliant play by Sancho for Ronaldo to get that tap in to get Manchester United to lead. I'm going to move up to you, Jegs. Well, what was your thoughts as soon as Manchester United took the lead again?
First with the penalty, like you said, it was definitely a penalty, man. Like, unfortunate. I can't blame Telles too tough, but he did have his hands in the air. So to see them come back at 1-1 was a bit annoying, but it was great to see the reaction. We got the second goal straight away. Like you said, Fred was amazing in that game overall, but in that phase of play, he was very good to win the ball back. And Sancho with the assist. Sancho's playing very well for us, man. Like Amok said earlier, he needs to be playing for me. Let him play every game for the rest of the season. He needs to start ahead of Rashford and other wingers, even ahead of Elanga, because I know Elanga's been great for us, but Sancho, he's getting into his form now, and we're seeing and benefiting from that. So he should definitely play more games. And an easy tap in for Ronaldo to make it 2-1. So good fight, and it was a good comeback from that penalty. But as a whole, like I said before, the first half, we didn't really control the game, man. The way Man City controlled the game against Tottenham, for Tottenham to come to Old Trafford and just to be holding the ball for large spells of that first half, it wasn't great to see. But 2-1, we was all happy at half time.
We was happy at half time, but we were always dreading that feeling. The second half, the first couple of minutes. Will Manchester United concede in the first 5-10 minutes? Because we are. We are a 45 minutes team, which is funny because previously we was a second half team. All of a sudden, we're a 45 minutes team. We're no longer a second half team. We're just conceding goals and capitulating in the second half. Manchester United conceding the goal. And the funny thing, it wasn't a Tottenham player who scored. It was one of our own. Captain Slabbed himself. Instead of, just avoiding touching the ball and letting it go on to Romero to tap it in, then it would have been an offside goal. He just said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to tap it in. These men be chatting shit about my name. I'm going to make things even worse. I don't want us to win. He didn't want us to win. He plays against us. Amok, how did you feel that moment Maguire scored that own goal?
I left a message on the group immediately. I was so upset. It was heartbroken, like, just to see, like the guy said, how he played in the first half. Like, they were having the ball. So every time the team keep the ball, there's more opportunity for them to get a goal. We didn't have the ball, but we took our chances, which we created nice. And just to see him doing that, and I literally looked at his face, he was like, and I was like, at the end of the day, there's just one foot that got in my head. I said, this guy, first of all, he's the captain of the club. And I'm not even upset that he cost us 80 million. But as the captain of the club, there's 3 things that he lacks: physical fitness, mental fitness, and emotional fitness. He lacks all 3 of them.
And flexibility.
You can't be a captain of Manchester United if you ain't even got one of those 3. Like, you need as a human just to even go with your day-to-day life. But you're playing football. And I know it's getting hard on him, but I felt like he deserves it because we clearly know he's not capable enough of the opportunity that he's been getting in the task and job that he's been given at the club. He's not capable of it.
Definitely, he's not capable. He's letting us down. For those who are tuned in, remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and remember to share. And of course, I'm going to move up to Jegs as well. Jegs, the moment Maguire equalized, because I'm going to get to you, Jerome, as well, with that, because we need to talk about that. We definitely need to talk about it. The moment Maguire equalized for Tottenham.
Do you know what? it wasn't so much that he scored the own goal. It was almost like yet again yet another mistake. Like that in itself, you look at that and you think you could have done better, but it's unfortunate. Like that as a standalone own goal, but coupled with everything else he's been doing, all the other mistakes, I can't even blame Maguire. I blame the management. I blame the board for forcing Ragnick to make him play if that's what they're doing, because they've spent so much money on him. He should not be starting, man. And they're doing him a disservice by keep playing him because he can't handle it right now, and he's not good enough. Everyone can see it. All the pundits are talking about how Maguire's not good enough now, when the fans have been saying it for quite a while. We've been saying it since last season. Some people have been saying it since we signed him. So it's not looking good, man. I feel like as Maguire continues to play, we're always going to be vulnerable at the back, man. And it's more work for the likes of Varane. The other centre-back has to play at like 120% to sweep up around Maguire. So it's not looking good, man. I don't blame him too tough for the own goal, but he shouldn't be in the squad anyway. So, yeah, not happy with him.
And you know what? I get what you mean by I don't blame him too tough for the own goal, because where was our fullbacks at that moment there when they ran into the flanks and crossed it in? They were nowhere to be found. And of course, Maguire panicked, and he does what he does best. Makes mistakes when he panics. Jerome, I'm going to move up to you as well. That winner. But you speak about Maguire, but I also want you to talk about the winning goal itself, because the winning goal was in the 80th minute, and it can only be the guy himself that actually. And it was our second set piece that we scored. So, what was your thoughts on Maguire and then Ronaldo's goal?
Well, first of all, with Maguire, I think he's stressing out this fan base too much. you can't basically, if Maguire's playing, you ain't going to be able to relax and watch United in defence. There's always going to be so much anxiety and nervousness when Maguire's playing. And I actually thought we had a decent game, but it's just inevitable that any mistake at the back's going to come from him, because he's making mistakes every single game. I can't remember the last game that he had where he was just consistent throughout the whole game. And I actually feel sorry for him, because he should not be playing. Everyone's saying, he shouldn't be playing at all. But I think that the board are forcing the management to play him, and they're basically maintaining him as captain. And he looks like he doesn't even want to be captain. He's not showing any form of leadership. He's not like being supportive to his team members. No one's actually looking at him with any sort of respect or authority, and it's just like he's just looking like a lost puppy out there. Literally, he's just clueless. Doesn't know what he's doing, and he looks like he's just coasting through games. That's why he's always making mistakes every game. Obviously, he was unlucky to slash the ball into the back of the net, but because he doesn't have any awareness of what's going on around him, as a Moxie, he just panicked. So it's quite sad to see, really, how he's just been left to hang out to dry on the pitch, when really he should just be sitting on the bench and giving Lindelof, who's been playing well for the last parts of the season, a chance to run the team. But obviously, until the board swallow their pride and admit that they've got it wrong on Maguire in terms of signing him, then we're going to always have these moments where he's just going to keep playing, keep making mistakes, and we're going to keep having the same conversation every week. So yeah, it's quite frustrating that he's not being dropped, because other members of the team are being dropped, but for some reason Maguire is just undroppable regardless of the sport. It's quite embarrassing, really. We're the only club that do that, and it's never ever happened under Fergie, by the way. So there's something wrong with our current structure at the top that are dictating who Ralph should be playing, when Ralph should have full control of the personnel and who starts.
And regarding the goal itself, from the winning goal?
Oh, the winning goal, I'm going to lie, I didn't expect that. I was thinking Ronaldo's come of age, finally. That was the Ronaldo we expected to see. When we signed Ronaldo, I expected to see loads of headed goals. I can't lie, I was beginning to think as Ronaldo lost his heading ability, but he's a good header. I was pleasantly surprised to see that go in, and I can't lie, I was relieved when that went. I was like, yeah, Ronaldo's showing his clutch moments now. this is the real Ronaldo, the Ronaldo that we've all been waiting to see throughout the whole season. And yeah, man, it was just great to see. It just, you know, when you just get that feeling of excitement and relief with an up and down game, and then your main man comes up with the winner, and that should be a big confidence booster for him and the rest of the team now to show that if the players step up, we can actually, like, obviously top four is still looking difficult, but we can actually go on a run and, you know, push Arsenal all the way for that top four spot. So Ronaldo's showing that he's still got it. You know what they say? They say form is temporary, but class is permanent.
Yeah,
and
as they say.
Right from the age of 37.
One of the good things about Ronaldo is that he had a week rest. So this is what happens when you actually rest Ronaldo or give him the time that he needs to recuperate. And as soon as he came back, he scored a hat trick. He looked energetic. He looked like he was up for it. Another player who did extremely well was Pastor Fred in that midfield. It shows again that he doesn't need to be a McFred. He wants to be a Fred on his own. McTominay is not needed, and Fred plays extremely better when there is no McTominay. Any thoughts on Fred's performance, guys?
Quality, man. Quality. He was breaking up play. He even nutmeg one man. Like, he was doing the most out there. And I think you hit the nail on the head with the fact that he plays much better without Scott. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Scott is as bad as a lot of United fans think he is, because I still see him as potentially a squad player in the future if he can improve some aspects of his game. But Fred is so much better playing by himself. I still feel like Fred is not good enough to be starting for United, only because he's not consistent. He'll play amazing one game, but next week he can have like a poor game. So, but in the game against Tottenham, I give him like an 8 out of 10, you know, maybe like an 8.5. He actually played very well, very well.
No, I was pleasantly surprised again with Fred. The flick that he did for Ronaldo's first
he was actually Brazilian.
That was
was so smooth.
Do you know what?
He's Brazilian. They didn't tell he's Brazilian.
He showed that he's.
Then you could tell he's Brazilian. Like, I'm Brazilian. But you know what it is, yeah?
Say that he's got a fake Brazilian passport, but I think
after that, you know he's really Brazilian.
Some glimpses there that there's some Brazilian in him, because that was a smooth flick. It wasn't like one of those like flicks where it kind of just fluked it. It just looked like it was well transitioned. So yeah, I was happy with Fred. He was everywhere. He's showing that he's a proper box midfielder.
It reminds me of his friend.
Say something? He was gonna
be first choice going forward, but he would definitely be a good squad player for the team, because I don't know if he can maintain that level of performance week in, week out.
No, he can't.
We've seen it. You don't know what we're going to get from him tomorrow. We get one that plays with McFred. We might see McFred tomorrow and the same usual stuff. So let's see what Ralph does tomorrow with the lineup. But
Amok, you was going to add something?
Yeah, I was gonna say he reminded me of the Fred that me and you first mentioned when he came to United. When other people were dissing, other fans were dissing him. He's this guy who was like, no, he's good, because we used to like his without the ball, he was very good. Like, he's always behind other players, like trying to make sure to put players. And I saw that the other day. I was like, wow. Like, but like the guy said, if we see this week in, week out, yes, he could be the main player. But for now, we've seen these performances a lot, but it's not just consistent with him. So hopefully get to do it more often.
Yes. And moving on from there, guys, man of the match and donkey of the match in that game. Because my man of the match, I'm not going to lie to you guys, my man of the match is the GOAT himself, man. Had exception. I could have given it to Pastor Frederick as well. I thought he had a very good game. But, of course, the guy scored a hat-trick. You cannot give it to him. Donkey of the match is the captain himself for that stupid mistake. That silly mistake for me. Jegs, what about you? Who was your man of the match and who was your donkey of the match? I think Jegs has frozen. Jegs, did you hear me?
Sorry, bro. Yeah. Man of the match, Ronaldo, obviously, hat-trick. Come on. At 37 years old, still doing his thing. So he gets the man of the match. And another obvious one, Maguire's donkey, man. I don't really need to say anything more.
Definitely. And Amok, what about you? Man of the match and donkey of the match?
This is just inevitable. out of all the other weeks, yeah, you know you got struggle, but this particular week is just inevitable to know who are both of the man of the match and donkey of the match. Maguire, donkey of the match. Ronaldo, man of the match. He got a hat trick. Maguire scored the own goal. Like it's
Right.
you can't stress.
What about you, Jerome? Who's your man of the match and who was your donkey of the match?
Yeah, it's an easy one again. Ronaldo definitely ran the match. That I did not expect that hat trick. It was a good hat trick. It wasn't one of those hat tricks where he scored 2 penalties and a tapping. That was a proper hat trick. So
I believe it.
yeah,
I believe
so,
And your donkey of the match, sorry, before I continue.
donkey's got to be Maguire. Come on, Maguire plays shit every week, and nothing's changed. So no leadership, no authority, no respect by his teammates. Yeah, definite donkey, just out there with no friends, basically.
And you know what? Yeah, to think about it, I'm definitely thinking if Ronaldo scored with his left foot, right foot, and head to
I
make
think
it
two right,
hat-trick.
you know.
Two right. I was
Two
hoping it was the tapping was with his left foot.
Perfect hat trick, yeah.
The perfect hat trick. That's what we needed. But as you see there again, guys, that's 807 goals by Ronaldo and 59 hat tricks. That's a lot. GOAT stuff. That's the greatest. And you know what's so inspirational about Ronaldo? He made another GOAT come out of his retirement after the GOAT saw him. He was like, nah, I need to come back to the NFL. Yes. As you know, guys, as soon as Ronaldo scored his hat trick, had a wonderful performance. He met up with Tom Brady at the end. They shook hands. The very next day, Tom Brady decided to come out of retirement and go Tampa Bay. I don't know if this was the Glazers trying to persuade him to come back to Tampa Bay by sweetening him up at Old Trafford at one of their stadiums. Yep, one of their football clubs that they own. Yep, but he came out, and that's how influential the GOAT is. Moving on from that, we've got some of the reactions from the manager and the players himself. Paul Pogba spoke at the end of the game, and he said that it was a beautiful game and a beautiful reaction from us. We hurt them at the right time. Ronaldo did what he does best. Pogba also said that Ronaldo, he has never been a problem. Yes, that's for those who's been saying he's a problem. He's never been a problem. You have the best striker in history in our team. It cannot be a problem. Today, the performance from him and all teams was very brilliant. And more quickly, what do you think of Paul Pogba's comments right there?
Matured, and he said it all. Like he was just trying to clear the air a little bit about Ronaldo, because people thought like since he came to the team, he's been a problem. But he cannot be a problem if he's one of the best strikers in the world. Like you just said before, he's a GOAT. So we should be happy. Remember, I told you we should be happy just to receive Ronaldo back in our club, you know, as United fans. So I believe Koba was matured about his comments, about the question they got asked. And yeah, he was definitely right.
Definitely right. Hugo Lloris spoke as well after the game. He said that I think Ronaldo was at his best, very aggressive in the box. It's difficult to control him, but when you concede set piece, you need to look for that. Antonio Conte also spoke about Ronaldo. He said that we're talking about a player who's not only tonight showed he's at the top player. Cristiano and Lionel Messi are the two best players in the world in this era. When you play against these type of players, they are decisive. Ragnick spoke about the game. He said that we showed the kind of reaction we were due to show after the bad second half at Etihad. The team deserved to win, coming back after 2 equalizing goals in that style. Jegs, what's your thoughts on Ragnick right there for what he's just said there?
He can just about get away with saying that we deserve to win only because of the way we showed resilience and coming back and taking the lead twice in that game. But overall, without Ronaldo, like I said earlier on, that wasn't a great performance, man. Ronaldo literally covered up that performance. That performance wasn't great from United. It was a decent performance, an average, okay performance, you know. So I'll let him get away with saying that.
No, definitely we can get away with him saying these kind of things. Sorry, I lost my word. Based on what happened previously as well on our previous week of humiliation. So it is what it is. Ragnick also said today it was his Ronaldo, the best performance at least since I've arrived. He was good in training on Thursday, and that is why I decided to start him. Fantastic performance by him and also by the rest of the team. He also said regarding Ronaldo can do it 70,000 people off their feet, but again, he can also do it only with the team. A fantastic performance. It was not just a 3 goals today. It was also he was part of the team when they were in possession of the ball. Any thoughts on that, Jerome? Of what Ragnick himself said?
Yeah, I think, well, in terms of Ragnick's assessment of the game, yeah, I kind of agree with him because, as he was saying, we just about deserved it for the fact that we were brave. When we conceded the goal to make it 2-2, we could have just rested on our laurels and scraped the 2-2, but he took off Matic. I think he brought on Cavani, didn't he? Brought on attacker, and he went for it. So, yeah, I definitely agree with everything he said. We definitely deserved it. Not fully deserved it, but based on the bravery of the team, yeah, I think we deserved it really. As you were saying on Ronaldo, that's just proof that we just need to look after him. Obviously, he's 37 and we can't keep playing 2-3 games every week. Just need to keep him fresh and look after him. Obviously, he didn't play on last Sunday, so that's why he's come back fresh and training on the Thursday and looking sharp. So you just need to look after him properly, especially at this business end of the season, because we can't afford to have Ronaldo injured now, especially we're so short up front.
Absolutely, which I agree with. We need to look after him. We need to know when to look after him and when to play him. And Ronaldo himself should know he should be playing and when to take a rest. And especially, I've always said this before, you get to an age where you know your body really well. Me, I'm in my 30s. I know my sex game and my sex energy is not the same as it was when I was 20. Back then, when I was 20, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds, if I could do that, I would. Now it's about 1 or 2, 3, babes. Man knows my body now.
That's recharge.
Trust me, I need to recharge, man. Man's mental affairs, bro. But Ragnick also said one more thing. Ragnick said that speaking about Fred, Fred probably with Scott McTominay, one of the best ball winners if the other team is in possession. He also showed in quite a few counter-attacks and transitional moments that he can play perfect balls. He gave the assist for the first goal to Cristiano. And that's about it, guys. We move it on to that next part of the show. Yes. For those who are watching, those who are tuning, remember to let us know what your thoughts on the game is. As well as those who are watching on playback, let us know who your man in the match was and also your donkey of the match. And remember to subscribe, smash that like button. Now we're moving on to the second part in the last 10, 15 minutes of the show, which is the unfiltered debate where we can all interrupt each other and etc. to speak, but we must be respectful, guys. Let's try and have one voice. Marcus Rashford's future, as you know, guys. Marcus Rashford previous week after the heavy defeat against Manchester City came out to the media and said that how he's not happy and he would like to look to leave. He's not happy because of his playing situation as he's not getting enough games. But he deluded the fact that, and he let that go behind him, that he's been playing shit throughout the whole 6-7 months. But Marcus Rashford wants to leave. He's questioning his future because he's not getting the right amount of playing time. Also, what came out as well is that he have spoken to PSG. Listen, Marcus, you are not the guy to replace Mbappe. Let me tell you that right now. I know we saw a picture of you tapping Mbappe's head, but it's supposed to be the other way around. He's something new these days. But yes, guys, on the future of Marcus Rashford, we can discuss this. Should Marcus Rashford be saying these kind of things that he wants to leave? Should Marcus Rashford be a guy that should be thinking, you know what? I've been playing poor. This is a challenge to myself. The manager dropped me. I'm not playing great. I need to challenge myself. I need to get to work exactly hard to get back into the starting lineup. But that's the thing that I believe he should be doing. He should be asking himself the question. Marcus Rashford shouldn't be saying that I want to leave. You should be thinking about...
saying it. He should be saying it.
You shouldn't be saying
we
it.
need to make room. Yeah. How many years has he been with us now?
Marcus Rashford's been in 5-6 years.
6 years. What do you want to wait for? A decade? It's time to go. We need space. Our squad is too big, and we have too many average players. It's time to go. And I feel like it didn't make sense what he said in regards to he wants more playing time. That's the reason why he wants to leave, because I'm sure he knows he hasn't been playing well. I think he's just used that as a reason to put out there. There must be a genuine other reason. I'm sure like what's happening behind the scenes in Manchester is not pretty right now. So whatever the reason is, no hate towards Rashford. What he's done for us, we're grateful, but it's time to move on. And I feel like his career will be better served in like Spain or Italy in another league, because I don't know, Marcus Rashford is not as good as basically he didn't realize his potential. And whether that's his fault or the club's fault, I don't know whose fault it is, but he just didn't realize his potential. And he can't be taking up space anymore. Me personally, he can go.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think Marcus Rashford, I think he's absolutely embarrassed himself. How on earth are you going to come out and say that you're going to consider your future when you're playing absolutely atrocious? He's not even playing bad. He's playing. His performances have been disgraceful, literally worse than like Sunday League level. Like the way he's been performing, you begin to think, is this guy even a professional footballer? And for him to come out and say that he's considering his future, thinking that the club's going to get worried about it, it's just embarrassing, disgraceful, really. And I don't know who's advising Rashford, but all he's done now is put extra pressure on himself and more spotlight on him, because now everyone's going to be saying, oh, this guy's not happy that he's not playing. When he does play, we're going to expect him to put in a performance, and he didn't do that. He didn't do that against Tottenham. He was very passive. I barely knew that he was playing on Saturday. So talking about he's not happy with not getting game time. He got his chance, he started, and he's still not showing any desire.
Hey, how much money is Rashford on?
He's on over 200k a week.
Who's going to give it? Who's going to give him that?
No one. I wouldn't.
Off the back of these performances. So, like Jerome said, he's right. This wasn't the right time to say it. Why not have 3, 4, 5 good games in a row, score some goals, and then say you want to leave?
Do you know what it is? Yeah.
What he needs to do is what he needs to.
Wait, let me just stop you right there. Let me just big up Queen, who says that we want Ollie back. You lot are haters. No Ollie, no United. Thank you for that super chat, Queen. I just say wrong.
All I was saying is that we need. Come on, that's my train of thought now.
Yeah, sorry.
Basically, Rashford, he needs to come off social media, because he's talking too much on social media and he's not putting in performances. He's just putting unnecessary pressure on himself. What he needs to do is put his head down and focus on his football and stop chatting nonsense.
Rashford, stay on social media. Just leave.
Jags, I know you're upset. If I can add to this,
I want to hear what you have to say.
If I can add to this, I've seen the two guys, you lot have been a little bit too harsh. I understand the situation. Like I did say, remember I've been saying this for the past months. You see, there's certain guys not within the club itself that I can feel that we just don't know what it is. You guys just said the manager ain't getting, like, for example, Maguire. The board is forcing Maguire to play. But I did see the manager is getting bullied. People say, "Nah, man, what do you mean bullied?" That's bullying. He's not doing what he wants to do. He's doing what someone else tell him to do. You get what I mean? But I said that like months ago because I've seen it. Like for this Marcus Rashford thing, I feel like the fans needs to just chill. He's young. And half of the things we see on social media, it's not even Marcus Rashford. Maybe he might say, okay, you're supposed that before even reading it or something. Like we humans. Like, but certain things that the only thing I've got to say about Marcus Rashford himself is his performance. Not if he wants to leave the club. That's his choice. If he wants to leave the club, like look for another club that wants you and go. But I want to keep him. I like him. I think he can do great things. There's still opportunity. Yeah, he's been poor this season. This season.
He's been poor for
this season. See, this is what I'm saying. We're so impatient as fans. It's been poor this season. Yes, it has been. This season, yes. But he has improved in the club for the past 6 years. He has improved in the club. We just sent Matteo on loan. Come on.
He's been there 6 years.
Yes, but we just sent Matteo on loan.
I think he's worse than
No, it's the club itself. We are not looking after our players.
I think it's a bit of
Rashford-
both, you know.
Marcus
It's a
Rashford
bit of
ain't
both.
no. Yes, Jake.
Yeah,
Stop.
we
That's what I
can't
was about to
keep,
say.
we can't keep blaming
Marcus
everyone
Rashford
else.
didn't help himself with his
Rashford needs
people
to
around him.
look. He needs to look at himself and say, "I've been here for
The
6
club
years.
is not helping the
And I haven't
players, brother.
improved, and maybe I'm just not good enough for United because
You
we
see?
can't blame. We can't blame all the managers. He's been how many managers? He's had Louis Van Gaal. He's had Mourinho. He's had Oli, and now Ralph, and he still hasn't improved.
But we just signed Maguire. Everyone's complaining. Maguire cost 80 million. But like I said,
Maguire's
there's
shit.
something in the.
Maguire,
See, this is what I'm saying.
we know Maguire's
It's-
he's a flop and a waste of money. But with Rashford,
Mhm.
he's been there a lot longer than Maguire.
Yeah,
And
Rashford
he's
is a
regressed.
talent.
But you know
Rashford
what?
is a
Yeah,
talent.
can I say something?
We just harsh a little bit. We found
Let
some
me
harsh
just,
on
let me just
Rashford a
add to
bit.
it. With Rashford, of course, I've always said this before. Yeah, I've always thought he was overrated, innit? Like I've said it several times because why? He's 24 years old and he still can't make the right decisions. You're a big man at 24. You're a big man in the game in football. Like you're a grown ass man. You're not a youngster anymore. You're supposed to be competent in your football. This is where you stop playing your best years of your football till you get to 28. And he's not doing that, you know. He's not making the right decision at this age, and it just scares me. Is he going to continue to be like that? If you don't have it now and you can't cut it now, you're never going to get it. Rashford has been inconsistent in a lot of games throughout the whole 2 to 3 years. I've never said to myself, Rashford had an amazing 90 minutes. He hasn't had that. And for him to just randomly just say this is true, and I hope it's not true, that he wants to move on because of the lack of playing time. It's like, brother, you're not even giving yourself a reality check that you've been playing shit, but you want to leave. That's what I just don't get. You're not giving yourself the reality check that I've been shit. Like, understand that you've been shit before you
But
stop
what if
saying you
there's
want to leave.
something that you lot don't know why he said that? Because, like I said,
Why is
half of
that?
the things. This is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it could be another reason.
This is
Let
what
me
I'm
put
saying.
this into
Us
perspective.
fans,
You
here
know
are so
Ronaldo.
I'm
impatient.
not.
You know
One voice,
Ronaldo.
one voice.
Whatever the reason is, yeah.
Ronaldo
How
left
more?
One
for
voice,
United.
one voice, guys, one voice.
Go on.
How long? How long do you want to wait? I hear what you're saying, bro. Because
Mhm.
two seasons ago he scored like 17, 18 goals in the season. Like
Last season.
he hasn't been shit throughout. I hear what you're saying, bro. But it's like, how long do you want to give him though? It's
But
been like
Jax, listen to this. Yeah, I understand what you just said. Yeah, how long?
how long?
But we got a transition of a management changing in the club, right? Why are we going to sell players that we helped build? Because he's having a poor season. Like I said, us
To
fans have
raise
been
funds
impatient.
to get better
To raise
players in.
funds. No.
I'm-
To get
I'm
better
all-
Why
players
can't, the
in.
same
I'm
way
all-
we gave Oli. Wait, listen. The same way we
You're
gave
too
Oli
sensitive.
opportunity. No. It's not sensitive.
Remember, we
The
shouldn't
same
be
way we gave
sensitive to
Oli
our players.
opportunity. The same way we gave Oli opportunity at
Mhm.
the club. Us fans need to do the same thing. I'm not Rashford out. I want Rashford to stay. But if he wants to go,
Squad player.
let him go. But like I
But he
said,
just said he wants to go, so he's
yeah,
go.
let him go. I'm not against that. But all I'm saying is this: the fans, we saying too much because I think we're impatient. He's just having one poor season. And everyone Spicy did say something that I felt like I did say, you fans, us fans are so impatient. Rashford had more than 90 minutes that's been brilliant. Few more games. Just he hasn't had a month that we should be
No,
more.
I can't.
Like, you
I
see, this
can't.
one,
But
see,
has
this
There was
Rashford ever
any
scored
game
20
that I
goals
said
in a
I was
season
happy
then?
with his 90 minutes performance. That he was so amazing. He destroyed.
like,
Maybe he's had those games, but it's rare to me.
see,
It's
this what I'm
just like the
saying.
Bruno situation. It's really rare for me to say Bruno had an amazing 90 minutes. He has had it, but I just can't remember. And it's the same thing with Rashford. I can't remember, apart from maybe against Chelsea, maybe the opening game when he scored 2 goals or whatever. Yeah, I just can't
And
remember
can I add one
Rashford
thing
You know
having.
what I
to
was
this
saying with
Rashford
this, yeah?
situation?
You know with Rashford, basically, he hasn't been playing well for the last 2 years. Last season, admittedly, he did score goals, but now the goals are drying up. We can see that he's not actually playing well in
Jerome,
the
he
team
saved Oli. He saved Oli. He
because we
saved
were
Oli.
focusing on too much stats.
Jerome, let me pause you there. He saved Oli.
Rashford,
You know
Bruno.
what?
He saved Oli
No,
before
it's
Bruno
just- you
came.
know what?
Before Bruno came, he saved Oli.
Rashford.
Jerome, come on.
Popper.
You know what?
Come on.
You know what?
Come on.
You know what I was saying to that. There were moments where he did save Oli, but how many chances does Rashford need to score a goal? He's not a prolific goal scorer.
I agree with Spice. I agree with
That's
Spice
what he
on
needs.
one
He's not a
condition.
striker. He
I
wanted to
agree
play
with Spice with
striker.
one
He's
thing
not
that
a
he said.
striker, and he's not even useful on the right hand side as well. He can't
Rashford
push the
hasn't
ball.
improved.
I don't know
with
what use
making
Rashford is
decision.
going to have to help us move forward in this team.
Making
I'm gonna be honest
decision
with
is
you.
his biggest issue. Like making like,
Yeah, think about it.
It's
making his
24.
selection
Rashford is
is his biggest
in the
24.
issue.
final third.
Rashford's 24.
Right.
Remember Ronaldo left Man United for Real Madrid at 24. He was the best player in the world.
You see, we
Rashford's
comparing
24
all his
and
players. You cannot have
suffering.
Ronaldo. You don't
Those
put
are
Ronaldo in
maybe it's
Rashford
not a good
category.
comparison.
That's
but
disrespectful to
those are
Ronaldo.
the
You
standards
know?
we need to be looking at. We're looking at winning titles and.
But let me
Rashford-
ask you something though.
Mhm.
Years ago, when Rashford was like 18 years old, 17, 18, 19, you know, there was a lot of people comparing him to Pepe at that stage.
I
Yeah.
did.
A lot
I
of
did.
man
I
were.
did.
Yes, we all did.
I
So
did.
did I.
Yeah.
I did.
But look at the difference now. So you're telling me, look how far they are from each other.
Mhm.
That
Happy
that
with
just
it.
shows in
Mbappe
itself.
plays
We
in
need
one
to look
league.
elsewhere,
Let me say
man.
this. Let me say this. Let me say
No,
this.
don't-
Mbappe played one league,
Uh-huh.
and that league got a big question mark when they do play outside of that league. So, like I said to you, I understand this open debate. Mbappe play for a country
Mhm.
that's got one of the best. We've got a player in our team that don't really play consistently.
Yeah,
good,
but I'm talking about what
but
he
in
does,
terms,
though.
this
We're
I'm
talking
saying.
about what
In
he
terms,
does. Yeah, go on.
that's what
I'm
I said.
just talking
That's why I
about
said
depth
the
as
league.
players,
That's why I
though.
said the league. He plays in one league that's a bit easy for Mbappe to do what he does. So in terms of progression, yes, Mbappe will have the better progression than Rashford.
Not necessarily,
Yes,
because
necessarily.
as a good footballer, if you're playing against better players, you're going to get better. Playing in a Farmers League, you're not going to really get like. And Mbappe would rip it in the Premier League, I believe.
Cavani,
Definitely.
Cavani in his worst day scored goals in the French league for fun.
Sure. I heard that.
So like I
But
said, like I said, I know what I'm saying. The comparison that we're doing, it's a bit harsh on our own players. Like it's harsh.
All I want to
You
say
bro,
can't
you
be
got too much
harsh.
sentiment, man.
Yeah,
On
Forget
the
these
sentiment.
players. These are the same
Yeah,
players,
I'm a
yeah,
United fan.
that get managers sacked left, right,
I'm a
center.
United fan.
We need all
No,
of these players need to go, man. We need
no
new
Rashford.
players.
No
It's all
Rashford.
about the
No,
team.
no
Forget the
Rashford.
players, man.
all I'm saying is that
No
if you're
Rashford.
24 and in life and you're making the wrong decisions in life, because he's making the wrong decision in football. If it was a grown-ass man like you, like your brother, and he's 24, and he constantly makes the wrong decision, you're gonna question whether you ever make the right decision. But guys,
No, I
let's just
understand.
end it there. Anyone want to get their last 2 cents before we end the show? Because we have come towards the end regarding Marcus Rashford. Are we all good?
With Rashford,
Mhm.
this could be a critical next 12 to 18 months for his United career. I think
And
if we get a new manager in, they'll probably give him one last chance. If he doesn't prove himself, then he's got to go because he's been there since 2015. And how much patience do we need? We're trying to win things. We're trying to progress and move forward as a club. We can't have too many players that are just not cutting it and improving. So that's what I have to say on Rashford.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Rashford, he's one of our own, innit? Obviously, he came out of the youth academy, so it's sad to see one of our own want to leave. Obviously, we wish him all the best, but I do believe it is time for him to leave. So I just hope he shells it wherever he goes. But unfortunately, I don't see a future for him at United, man, which is a shame.
And Amok, any last words?
And I just want to say, Rashford just came out of injury like a few months ago. Not everyone gets stupid. So all I gotta say is this: I stand a little bit harsh.
Yes.
Jags, you was a little bit harsh.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just say,
Hold
like
my
we
hands
be
up.
harsh. We don't have to be harsh to tough. Like you did say at the beginning, he's one of our own. You don't keep one of our own out, you know.
Listen. All I'm gonna say is that this word he just had an injury was about 7 months ago. Yeah, that was 7 months ago. We're in March and you're still not performing. I always said there's no more excuses now. We're in the business end of the season where you need to stop performing. You're not performing. I understand you had your injury. That can be an excuse. I understand you went through racial abuse. Yeah. And that is not an excuse to say let it go. But because we are black, we're gonna have to let it go. And everyone understands why I say let it go. Because nothing's gonna happen. But still, let that go, Rashford. Even if it's something not to let go, but you're gonna have to let that go. That's not an excuse anymore. Whatever you've had in the summer, bad performances, injuries, stress, it's all done. It's behind you. We're in a new year. You need to stop performing. It's March, and you haven't performed. And he's had one of the worst goals return season of them all that he's ever had. I don't even think he's got double figures.
No, he scored 4 goals or 5.
He's doing a Martial. Oh my God. Jeez. Let's end the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, this has been a wonderful show. Brilliant to be back again. And for those who are new to the channel, remember you can always subscribe, smash that like button. Remember to tune in tomorrow for the live watch along for Manchester United versus Atletico Madrid, and of course the match reaction that follows the watch along. And I don't know if we've got anything on the weekend because I believe it's FA Cup week. But if we are playing on the weekend, I will also do a watch along and watch out for the latest Man United news. If any big news come out, remember to press that notification button. For those, I like to plug them in. Jegs, where can the people find you?
Instagram Jegs_United.
And Jerome, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram under jwilliams_1.
And Pretty Flocker, Amok, where can the people find you?
You'll find me Instagram, prettyflacco_16.
As always, where you can find me is here. I'm always here. You can find me on other channels as well. You can find me on Sarcasm City as well with Flawless. And of course, remember to follow the official Instagram account of Red United TV, as you can see above. My personal as well, as you can see above, and also in the link description. Until next week, as always, remember to keep it united. Remember to keep it Red United. We are out, and we will see you soon. Peace out.